Last week on Star Trek: The Space Quest Historian Adventure, or something.
This is the first one that I think is actually like really like a last week on. Like it started off with some action, some shooting.
Yeah, I actually cut that together to be kind of like that. Anyway,
there we go. Nice.
I'm the Space Quest Historian. Welcome back to Let's Contact Starfleet, the game, with Joe Mastriani of the Upper Memory Block podcast. You're awesome, sir.
Hello, sir. Yay, I'm back again.
The local Federation outposts.
Now we will try to find out just why in the hell the Romulans have invaded Federation. Because we were done with this, weren't we? I mean, we sort of solved the mystery. Fifth scroll.
You were rubbing Picard's head with your mouse.
Captain Picard, I'm surprised you managed to get through.
Had it coming.
Romulans have disrupted
Yes, but yeah, like you said, yes, we had apparently completed the game. We were issued, as I like to say in my podcast, we were issued a quest early on in the game, and we fulfilled that quest, and the game should now, in theory, according to my definition, be completed.
But no,
but that is not the case. No, there's a Romulan invasion that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and it literally comes out of nowhere because you're just sitting there going, "Aren't the end credits supposed to roll? What am I missing?" And then boom, Romulan invasion. So now we have to go and talk to Commander Chan at Outpost 543. I think someone just rolled their head on the keyboard when they were typing it.
It's like, we need a number.
Yeah, just there you go. And we're free to engage the Romulans should they pick a fight.
You can't win, Jean-Luc.
And there actually is, so I haven't seen another one, but there is one. There has so far been at least one occurrence of the number 47 in this game, which is a Star Trek thing as well.
Oh, what is that? Please let me know.
Maximum warp.
So I think it happened more in the later in DS9 and Voyager, but one of the writers or producers or something had this thing about the number 47. So if you watch, so now you're watching TNG. Mm-hmm. Pay attention when you're watching the episodes, and you will I think maybe like season 4 and on, you will see a very conspicuous overuse of the number 47.
Kind of like pineapples in Psych, or
I can't tell you how glad we are to see the Enterprise.
Oh, she looks like she needs to get some sleep. I'm sorry, my dear. You've been up way too long.
She's a little scraggly looking.
But then again, I mean, she's apparently coordinating the entire, oh my god, what the fuck, Romulans sort of counter thing.
No.
Or,
it looks like
no, wait, she was just looking out the window going, oh, no,
we don't know
Romulans, apparently.
Are there any other
this is just like some. I mean, it looks like they're at Red Alert or something. But so again, here we have like she's like very digitized.
Yeah.
Like she's like the most digitized.
Yeah, they shoved her in front of a white wall or something and just cut her out and put her in front of what looks like a 3D rendered hallway, actually.
Yeah. So again, we have like even more sort of like all over the place. I wonder, because I know we've talked about it in the previous episodes. This game was almost, if not over 2 years late.
Yeah.
And I know by the end they were really pushing to get this thing done on time. So I almost wonder if they farmed out some of the work to maybe subcontractors or whatever, and that's maybe one reason that there's a lot of inconsistency.
That could be. Maybe they just got fed up and just went, fuck it, let's just get it done. I know that was just a placeholder, but yeah, it looks good enough. Let's just...
Helm, change course to
although that would be really inconsistent with the the standard they were shooting for. So I don't know. I think the person we should ask is Matthias Genser, the man who is conspicuously absent from the entire internet, but who is credited as producer and lead designer. Oh, and look at that Romulan dude.
I am Tirilak, commander of the...
so he looks... Yeah, like he looks like he is a digitized actor to an extent, but then it looks like his mouth movements were animated.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a real Elvis kind of thing going.
But then the lady we just talked to was like super like rendered. Like it's just all over the place, right?
Which is interesting. It's called. I mean, from a I don't know, game reviewer standpoint, I suppose you could pick on that, but I'm not a farewell, Commander. we're in the middle of a fight. It's just like, you're no match for me. Farewell, Commander.
Of course we do.
No, and that's the thing. Like, you have to say, but again, from my research, like this game, when it came out, reviewed quite well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't.
And I remember it at the time being very, very enjoyable. So.
It is. Oh, it definitely. And I don't think we were that logged into consistent styles in the early to mid 90s. To be honest, I don't think people were like really like, oh wait, this guy's digitized, but that guy is 3D rendered. They're just like, hey, graphics 640 by 480. My God,
That's
is
crazy.
awesome.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't want to say we had lower standards or anything. That's not what I mean. But it's just like, oh, well, they were just doing what they could to make the game look as good as they could.
No, exactly. And I mean, yeah, now we're looking back with over 20 years of like additional gameplay experience, additional technology, additional this, additional that, and remasters of old games and
teams
and all
that
that.
count like 1 million people just to finish one game.
Yeah, exactly.
Spectrum Holobyte was not 1,000 people.
No.
The Romulan warbird has been.
And see, so we haven't talked a lot about the space combat portion of the game, and with good reason, because it's definitely. I never liked it, even in the original. When I originally played the game, I found it to be very sort of clunky and convoluted and overcomplicated. But I sort of give it a pass because you do have the option to delegate control of the combat to Worf and delegate control of your repairs to Geordi. So basically, it just becomes like the auto win button.
Yeah, exactly. And you can even do that on the captain difficulty level. Even though when you're on the captain difficulty level, you do get to pick your own away teams and equipment and such, but you also have to do ship combat and such. It'll turn off the delegate, but you can just turn it right back on. And I think the other ships have more hit points or something to that effect, but Worf will just take care of it, and you can switch the difficulty on the fly anyway, so it's not really that big of a deal.
And I could see where they were trying to go with that whole thing. Like, obviously, Spectrum Holobyte and having the, their sim background. So they probably just wanted to throw some of that in there. And it's cool that there's 3 ways to actually do the combat. You can do the delegate, or you can do the next one down, which is the one that you seem to be using, which is issuing orders. Which is basically you're controlling the ship the way Picard would. You're telling execute.
Oh well,
evasive maneuver.
I have delegate on. I'm just pushing buttons to get the fight to go faster.
Okay, yeah. But anyways, so yeah, well that's the UI we're seeing at the very least, and then on top of that, you can use the numeric keypad to like actually literally like manually control the ship and fire phasers and photons and control the spread of photon torpedoes and the salvo size and the phaser intensity and all this silliness.
I mean, you saw how cluttered that screen is, and you're in the heat of battle, and there's like a huge ass radar to the side, and there's this window of 3D models to the other side, and you can control them with the arrow keys. But no matter what you do, the ship just does this funny little jiggle because you don't see stars moving. You have no idea how fast you're going.
Yeah, it's not really. It didn't quite work out. I see what they were trying to go for, and I think if they had another gear, they probably could have done it. And I think follow up, the more tactical. Starfleet Command type games obviously did it a lot better because that was the whole point of the game. Here it's just like, this is an adventure game. Like, why is this stuff? Why is that even in there? Just like show a cutscene of the ships shooting each other and then say, "Oh, okay, yeah, we disabled the enemy."
Or maybe there were like a dialogue type B puzzles to beat certain enemies. Like one enemy cloaks all the time, so you have to figure out a way to detect the cloaking. I think they did that on one episode of the
it should be more like, to me, if this was an adventure game, it is an adventure game. It would be cool if the combat was more of a puzzle.
Yeah, exactly. More like maybe like the old Mine Road in Full Throttle, which I know everyone hates, but it is technically an adventure game puzzle because you have to figure out different ways to defeat certain enemies, and there's a little bit of twitch in it.
But not much. I mean, if you choose the right solution, it's one hit basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Apparently, they found clue for the weapon's supposed location.
I agree. And you said at the end of your podcast episode on this, please go listen to it, umbcast.com. I'm looking at the camera right now. You said it would be fun to see a remastered version of it. I completely agree.
I think it would be, yeah.
Tell me about awesome. You could still use the original dialogue. Still use, you could just basically up the graphics and either make the combat fun or get rid of it.
I wouldn't care to face
exactly. And I think even like, redoing the cutscenes would be like a 10-minute job kind of a thing these days.
If the assets still exist.
Yeah, I mean, even if they don't, you just take the old video and then say, okay, I'm going to re-render the Enterprise D, and like, you know, how many people have done like, you know, independent Star Trek CGI at this point?
Oh, you've got a ton of NCC 1701D models lying around on the internet. I think that's the first thing a 3D renderer person goes in and builds when they get good.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I just learned how to use Maya or 3D Studio Max or whatever. I'm going to do the Enterprise.
I'm going to build the fucking Enterprise. I mean, I saw Minecraft levels. I don't even play Minecraft, but I saw one dude who tried to replicate the NCC 1701D in one-to-one scale in Minecraft.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that
Oh, exactly.
And
so.
you have this conversation with the Klingon. This is, by the way, the only time in the game that the Klingons show up, other than Worf, of course.
Permanent.
And you can sort of piss him off, which I'm doing right now.
Trust that you are
He's taken some Romulans captive, and we asked to talk to their captain, you know, the Romulan captain, and he's kind of indisposed.
Captain, I'd like to respectfully
He
remind
says,
you that you are in Federation space.
Perhaps
and as
permanently,
such,
I even think
you're
he says.
expected to conform to Federation rules of
And now
conduct.
He's being very Klingon about the whole thing.
he's being very
They
clean.
have been given the proper treatment that Romulans deserve.
They have no honor.
They have no honor, and they have no feet, because I cut them off.
Custody instead.
This is a Klingon matter, Picard. It is none of your
Technically,
concern.
it's a Federation
If our
matter,
methods
but
are
fuck
so
you.
distasteful
Yes, and also
to you,
Picard has standing
perhaps
in the
next
Klingon
time
Empire. He is the
Federation can
Chadich.
defend
Oh,
itself
yes.
We'll see that
without
episode
our
later.
help.
Oh yeah, that's one of those episodes I vaguely remember. I remember as a kid, I was never really into the whole Klingon thing, to be
Captain.
honest.
Right.
Like
What do you
the
have to
entire
report?
sort of code of honor kind of thing never really
One
stood with
Klingon
me,
ship
like
chased
in
off
the
3
personal
warbirds?
way.
Not only that,
I just
it
Right,
disabled
could
and
never
captured
understand
one
that
of
stuff. So I
think
tend
I'll
to
send
skip
Captain
most of the
Kidra
Klingon
a
episodes,
bottle of
but I'm
Saurian
going to
brandy
watch
along
them
with my
now.
thanks.
You know, with
they're
adulthood,
not
perhaps
bad, especially-
understanding comes in.
The Romulans are
Yeah,
not
and especially when you have like
interested in
Picard
invading
standing in the,
Federation, at
you
least
know, in the
not
Klingon
yet.
High Council
Apparently
and
they're
all
heading
that.
for the
It's
Zetanis
pretty
Nebula.
cool, and you know, he gives his
That
good
nebula
Picard
has no
speeches and
strategic value. What are they
and blah blah.
looking
Blah. And you
for?
have and you know,
We
eventually you
believe
get
they're seeking
Gowron,
an
and you get his
ancient
crazy
weapon built
buggy
by the
eyes,
Chodak.
and he's
The
always
Chodak?
fun.
I mean, I like
Heard
the
stories.
undiscovered
Some kind
country
of
with the
star
one
eating super
Klingon
weapon
who
hidden
wasn't
in the
completely
nebula.
up his ass
But they're
about
just
honor and all this
stories.
nonsense. He was just like,
The Romulans
why don't we
will
coexist?
risk
That could be
war
fun.
over a myth.
Yeah, exactly.
The Romulans
And then he, of
never
course,
really
gets
are
killed.
considering all the
Of course,
consequences.
right, with the
Perhaps
weird
there's more truth
pink
to these
floaty
stories
thing. Yeah.
than we realized.
All right, Captain.
Which I remember
A
being
pair of
super cool at the
Klingon
time, and now you go back,
attack
you're like,
cruisers have
that's
just
sort of crappy
arrived in the
CGI.
sector to support us. I think we can
But yeah,
manage with
I
that.
like that. And
If you want to
the whole movie
investigate
was
this
apparently
Chodak
filmed on the
weapon
TNG
further,
sets
you're
because
free
they
to do
demolished
so.
the old TOS
Thank
sets
you,
or
Commander.
the old
I
movie
intend to
sets
get
or
to the bottom
something.
of this.
So
Oh, that makes sense.
yeah, so some of the, I mean,
You're
the office
receiving a
of
signal
the
from
Klingon
Starfleet.
president or whatever is
Admiral
actually 10
Williams.
forward, and you know,
Right.
that shit.
On screen. Greetings.
Hi.
Oh, and that
What
makes
can we
sense,
do
and
for
then
you?
Oh, it's Cardboard
Yeah,
Admiral.
oh.
Commander
Admiral
Chan
Cardboard.
knows the rest of your findings.
She does have
Your
a very
suspicions
good
that this was
posture.
not a
Yes,
full-scale
yes, she
invasion
does.
appear to
Very
be correct.
symmetrical
The
somehow.
Romulan incursions
a
Yes,
appear
exactly.
to
almost
be
perfectly
limited to the
symmetrical
sectors
person.
between the neutral zone and the
And I like how
Zetanis
throughout the whole
Nebula.
series they sort of like
We must find
kept
out what
changing the
they're really
admiral
after.
uniforms and what they look like.
Agreed.
Yeah,
The
just
recurring
like admirals
thread
can
through
wear
all this
fucking
seems to be the Chodak.
Yeah, it's like,
Do you have any
you know,
ideas
this
where to
isn't.
begin?
I don't like this black
Most of the
stripe down the middle. It makes me
surviving
look fat,
Chodak
so I'll
ruins
just
are
cut
in
that
one
off and
space.
put some more gold
However,
on
we
it.
recently
I don't know,
discovered
some
a new
stars.
site on
Yeah.
Fugis. There's also a Vulcan
now
archaeologist,
Picard is
They-
kind
who's
of getting
an
her up
expert
to
on the
speed.
Chodak.
Mm-hmm.
I'll attempt to contact
So-
Oh yeah,
him.
now we're like doing a big
All right,
callback
Captain.
to the
Good luck.
archaeologist
Williams
dude.
out.
Yeah,
What could
yeah,
the
that was
Romulans
like
be
several
up to?
episodes ago.
They are not
But
eager to fight.
so now the whole thing is going to be about the Chodak.
desperate.
Apparently,
I'm beginning to wonder if this
one thing I
really is
maybe
an
kind of
invasion
skipped over
after
was one of the Romulan
According
dudes
to
we
the
got in a
information
fight with
provided by Captain
said that they were going to find this
modifications
Chodak
to
device
the
that was going
render
to
ships
make their
unusable
empire
for a
all
few
powerful, and
weeks.
Picard was like,
That would
dude,
seem
what?
inconsistent with the needs of a
Huh?
long-term
and he and
course.
very
made those
uncouthly his ship exploded before he could give a proper answer to that.
It looks like they're trying to
So
get to these
the whole thing
Zetanis
apparently has to do with
Nebula as fast as
Chodaks.
they can.
Agreed.
And now,
The
since
question is why?
since we sort of inadvertently
Captain?
discovered that this archaeologist who was an expert on Garidians and
Laying a
something
course for
Asian
Shonari
history
Chodak
already, I
Salon
guess,
6, Warp
also
5.
was digging around in Chodak ruins.
Engage.
Fine, well, off to see him.
Right.
That was my
So
recap.
the other thing, yeah. So the other thing I would add in a remaster of this would be to add a default warp speed that you could
Captain
set.
Yes!
A Romulan warbird has invaded our
Because this is the second time
You
I was
promised
digging
to
around in
defend us.
astrogation to just
Please
up
come
the
as
warp
quickly as
speed.
you can.
And then
Yeah.
a timer ran down and something happened in game.
Captain's log supplemental. We have arrived
Oh,
at
and
in
Mr.
response
Teflon
to
had
distress
apparently
calls
has
from
a
Chancellor
problem.
Iraq.
The Romulans
Although
have
he
showed up
claims
and
to have
just
been attacked by the Romulans,
decided
we can
to
find no evidence
see. That's the
that
thing.
that
Why
took
is he?
place.
Why is he calling us?
Since
Because
we're
as we
picking
later
up a
find
vessel-
out, the Romulans are not in this to pick a fight. They're just flying as fast as they can. They won't.
Right.
When you, because this is the part where you get into random encounters. If you random encounter some Romulans, then they will all flee except for one ship that stays behind to fight you, just to sort of give the other guys some distance.
Right.
I cannot
So
begin to
this
thank you
guy's
for
just
coming
fretting
to our
for no
rescue.
reason.
If I can help you
Yeah,
in
it's like
any way,
they're
please
in your
let me
space,
know.
but they're probably
like
just
to beam
passing
a
through.
team
Yeah.
down
Next
to your
time,
planet
next time
and
a
talk
spider
to
crawls
you
in his
directly.
toilet, he's gonna call the
You and your
Enterprise as
crew will
well.
be most
It's
welcome.
like, Captain.
Captain, I thought you said you'll help. Oh, will you fucking?
Thank you for allowing us to beam down.
I welcome you in the
The
lawgiver's
lawgiver's name.
name.
Yes, we've been here
Although
already.
the
We
sex
know.
have refused to help, I am more
The sex
than
have
willing to
refused to
assist
help.
you.
See, that was the little hint that went off in my head that maybe there's a way to complete that mission in a better way
Well,
and
it
actually
appears
get
to
the
be
sex to
intact. I
not
trust
be
there was
dicks
no
to each other.
damage from the
But I don't
Right.
think
The
you can.
Romulans were not as courteous as you were.
And you'll
so
know.
we
And this
never
time
let
he's
down
he's
our
talking to
defenses.
Picard.
They were
Yeah,
unable
this
to
time-
penetrate
He's okay
our
with it now.
chameleon
Yeah,
field,
and if you
they
were
left
playing on
without
the
inflicting
ensign
any
level,
damage.
I mean, Picard wouldn't have been beamed down the first time. Sorry. So
Right.
this would be the first time that they had met, but which probably would have given this section a bit more gravitas. I don't know.
Right. He's like, oh, now I'm talking to the captain.
Ooh.
It's all when the captain comes down to the planet, shit's gonna go down.
Shit is going to go down. And another reason why I love sending the captain down is not just because Patrick Stewart has an awesome voice, and that is certainly 90% of it. The other one is that I was just watching Encounter at Farpoint, the very first episode, and there's this Jonathan Frakes as Commander Riker makes this big stink about the captain should never put himself in danger. I will never permit the captain to beam down in a dangerous away team situation. So when I play this game, I'm just picturing Picard on the bridge going, "Fuck you, Riker. I'm off to the transporter room."
Yeah, I'm the captain. Go to hell.
Yeah.
Do what I
Know
say.
about Chodak's technology.
We do
And
not
that was
fully
obviously so
understand the
that
principles
was
behind
an
it,
issue in
but we've
TNG
been
because
able
that
to
was
make
always a
some of it
callback to
function.
TOS because people
chameleon
would
field
always
that
write in and
disguises
say,
our
well, why
world,
does
for
the
example,
captain
is a
and the
Chodak
first
invention.
officer and the
What
chief
else have you
medical
discovered
officer,
about
they
Chodak
always go down to the
technology?
planet in the most
They had
danger
an
and they leave like
unusual way
Scotty
of
in charge.
navigating
Yeah,
that seemed to
exactly.
be
Like
based
it doesn't
on
make
how long
sense,
it
you know.
took to
Like the
travel
most
between
important people
different
on the ship
points
always
at a
leave and put
particular
themselves in
speed.
danger.
Yeah, you gotta wonder
Unfortunately,
why the
I don't
bridge
know how
crew
they
are the
define their
ones
basic
who always
units,
beam
so
down.
I
You know, in
can't
the
be
first
more
place. I
specific.
mean, it shouldn't be
Is there
Riker
anything
and
else you
Data
can tell
and
me
Worf.
about
Here you go.
Chodak
You
technology?
go and solve
They
this
created
problem.
special
They should have like
shielding
special
materials
teams.
that
Like
could block
I
out
suspect
any
that's what the
transporter
security
beams we
team
know
on the
of,
ship
yet
is for,
their own
or is that just
transporters
Yeah,
could
pretty
shield
much.
them
security?
easily.
I don't know.
What
Well,
else
I
have
don't
you
see why
discovered about
you know,
Chodak
aside from
technology?
okay, there will occasionally
use
be an
devices
intruder
similar
or
to
something,
isolinear
but
rods
otherwise, yeah,
as
you have this
keys
huge
to
like
many of their
police force on the
machines.
ship. Basically,
Here,
it's like
yeah,
for
I'll
what?
give
For
you
all the
one.
law-abiding, like
does it work?
high-achieving
When
Starfleet
the
officers are
wire
gonna
is
like
twisted around
get
the
into a
rod's
fight or
end,
something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Alter the
One of the,
rod's
you know,
making it sort
two
of
of the
all-purpose
families on
key.
board start some weird
you
shit
use the
about
programming
synthetically grown
properly,
carrots,
you
and
can
the
activate
entire
all
fucking
the
security
keys
team
of
steps in and goes,
the
"You put that carrot down,
Is
mister."
there anything else you can tell me
Ah,
about
yeah,
Chodak
exactly. No, I mean,
technology?
and in some episodes it does
crowning
come
glory of
across
their
that they have
technology
teams
was
down on the
something called
surface, and
the
depending on
Unity
what they're
device
doing, they have
that made
like
it possible for
you know,
them to
there's a
control
whole
their far-flung
slew
empire.
of lieutenant commanders
any
that are
more
in charge
details
of
about this
you know
Unity
departments
device?
and
I think it was a super weapon with almost
you know we just happened to
unlimited
see
powers.
you know we happened
When
to see the
Chodak
big
lost
department
it
heads
somehow,
like you
Yeah.
know Worf
their
is
empire
chief of
fell
security,
apart
Data's
almost
chief of
immediately.
operations.
What do you know about Chodak's society?
see,
You know,
just-
Geordi's chief of engineering,
Yeah.
but then you have other, you have
Squadron
like you know
encompassing
planetary
tens of thousands of
sciences
star
and
systems.
and
It endured
astrometrics.
for
and-
Yeah,
100,000
they all just
Blah,
wait
blah, blah.
for the important people to bring the shit up to the
100,000
ship
years ago,
so that they
it
can have a
disintegrated
look at it.
almost
They just,
overnight.
Yeah,
they never,
exactly.
They never get to go and do all the fun
Such an
stuff. They
immense
must get
empire
cabin
last
fever
that
up on the
long.
Enterprise.
What was the secret of
Yeah,
their
it's like you'd
success?
think like, oh, we're going down to a
They
new
had a
planet. We need to
talent
try
for
to. Okay, well, maybe we should get like the
They had an entire
geologists and the this and the that and the
power from
atmospheric
which they
people
ruled
to
their
go and check it out.
empire.
Oh no,
Nope,
no,
nope.
just the captain.
Just
He's got a
captain.
he's got a thing.
Yep,
Yeah.
Captain and Counselor Tory once read a book on biology. She should go down as well.
That the group which
Yeah,
set
because
the
you know
theory of
the
these
first thing you need
structures
when you're
was
going down
not
to an
the
alien planet
mainstream
is a
of Chodak
therapist.
Yeah.
society. For one
Or,
reason,
well, she is
this a
kind of
very
a mind
small
reader,
base.
so that
The
does come in
structures that
handy.
Chodak
But
built
yeah,
could
I
not have
see
held
exactly
more
what
than
you
a few
mean.
thousand
But what
people.
about all the other Starfleet
The
upgrade ships
could
that
not have
don't
been a
have like
major
empathic counselors.
Exactly. Yeah.
The Chodak settlers often
It's like
refer to
literally she's the
Eleanor
ship's
as
therapist.
the
Like,
seed
you know,
of
I'm having a
evil,
bad day.
and
Can you
frequently
please help
said
me?
that the
Yeah.
Unity
Yeah, I
device,
think in the
Empire's
first
chief
season or
means
so,
of
they're not
control,
even really
had
sure
been
what she is
destroyed.
doing on the ship, except
Perhaps the
you know
settlers
she's
here
being
were similar to your
used
own
as a mind
ancestors,
reader
fleeing
thing
an
on the bridge. Like,
established
what do you sense from that guy?
society
How about that
different
guy? Is that guy on the level?
Perhaps.
And
Yeah,
then-
later on, there's a
The
couple of
Chodak
episodes
here
where she's
played a
actually
far
like,
more
you know,
active
giving
role.
people therapy.
This
Yeah,
outpost
yeah,
was only
exactly. But that
inhabited
doesn't
for
happen
a
for
few
like a
decades,
couple of seasons.
Which coincided almost exactly
She's
with the
almost
end of
like
the
I think there's
Empire
there's
as
some
a
other
whole.
episodes where she's interacting with Riker and they're kind of doing like crew
Interacting.
reports.
There are
Oh.
more small
But they do
Zadi.
like they're doing like performance evaluations
Yeah.
on the crew and stuff. So it's
mystery which
to me
could
she's almost like
resolve
the head of
the question
HR on the ship.
Yeah, yeah,
What is
exactly.
this mystery?
Which is a
century
really
ago,
scary
our
notion, an
scientists
HR
found a
senior
Chodak
officer who
data
can read
crystal.
minds.
We believe
Yeah,
that
exactly.
the
It's like,
answers we
yeah.
seek, but unfortunately,
But anyway, we're
Yeah, it's
skipping
always-
over. Oh, sorry, we're skipping over a lot
No,
of
no, no, no.
exposition here.
equipment
Yes,
is
a
not
lot. The
sophisticated
The basic
enough to
thing to take away from all of this is
destroy.
he's given us a pointy stick and a little rubby thing to poke around at it, and it's apparently ancient Chodak technology.
I will entrust
So,
the crystal to you.
That was a long. I mean,
Ask is that
how
you
long
share
were we
whatever
just
you
talking?
discover
This
to
conversation
satisfy
went on
our
for
own curiosity.
Quite a while,
Quite a
like
while.
probably a good
Good
five to 7
As you
minutes
wish.
probably, like
May
for
the
in
spirit
a
of the
game
lawgiver
in a
guide
game
your
to kind of
path
sit
through
there
the stars.
staring at the screen for
Yeah.
that long.
We've done all
And,
we
and
can here.
not really any options to pick, and we're off. Yeah, I just had a look at the time.
Thank you
code.
for the stick, and now we will go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically. I would love to see like a Star Trek
Do you think the
Final Unity
Romulans
done
have
quick.
really
It's like,
found the
hi,
Unity
here's stick.
device?
Thank you. Beam
We
up.
know already if they had.
The device is that powerful?
It is.
I'm not sure, but without it, an empire which spanned this entire
And now there's
section of
we
the
have to
galaxy
come back up to the ship and then
disintegrated
hear
overnight.
Picard tell everyone else what just happened
What
now.
are your orders, Captain?
Wait, was Troy there? Wasn't she just
Yeah,
there?
she was there.
Course for Horse 3,
So why did she
Warp 5.
ask?
I don't know, and I even put the game back on ensign level at this point, so that away team was selected for me.
Right. It's like at this point, it's like okay, let's just finish this thing.
Maybe she has like a memory thing. Maybe she didn't get enough sleep. So she just comes up on the bridge and goes,
Any
"What just
success,
happened?"
Mr. Data?
Oh, we were at the
She was
planet.
looking at the
Much of the
fuzzy
information
fuzzy
was
thing on
corrupted,
top of that hut.
as we feared.
She wasn't really paying
But there
attention.
is
Like,
one
oh, I wasn't
section
paying
that may
attention.
be of
Sorry.
interest.
Yeah, I mean, they were standing off quite a long
As
distance
Chancellor
from
Lorak guessed,
Lorak and Picard
Purchase
anyway,
was
so they were
indeed a
just,
rebel
why are we
base.
even here?
The crystal
Data's just
explains
with
how
his
the rebels
tricorder.
stole
Just,
information
the tricorder is kind of like the mobile device of the 23rd century.
Like, oh, sorry, I was looking at my iPhone.
Yeah, exactly. Like he just whips that thing out. Just like whenever he's bored, just starts scanning random things.
About the Unity device.
Nah, he's checking Twitter.
This information was then used to
Twitter in
plan a
the
raid
future.
against the
Ooh,
Unity
boy.
device. There is then a
24th
corrupted
century
section
Twitter. Be
and a
awesome.
brief mention of a
Maybe
space
they've
freighter
finally
called
gotten all the trolls
I
off
am
of
not
it.
certain what the
Except for me.
connection is between
Probably
the
not.
freighter and the
Except for
raid.
you. You're the only trolls that
Complete
we're allowed
text
to
of the
have.
information may of course be found in the ship's computer.
And at this point, they entrusted a data crystal with us that kind of tries to explain what this Unity device is, because now we know what the Unity device is. It's apparently a super weapon that the Chodak Empire used to keep all the assholes in line. And then one day, it just sort of vanished. And apparently, the outpost that these followers settled on used to be a Chodak outpost, which also housed some Chodak rebels. Apparently, these are the dudes that made the Unity device disappear. So everyone freeze frame this and just have a read.
Boo, 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 boo.
Actually, it does stay on screen for quite a while.
Well, you had to read it too.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. And then
All
and then I
right.
couldn't resist just checking out the other options. Just like, oh yeah, and then I actually had to cut out like 15 minutes of me just reading through the database.
Captain's
There
log.
we go. See, I love
We
these
have
like
arrived at Horse 3 to
angles,
request
Yeah.
like the
advice
camera
from the
angles that
noted
they use,
Vulcan
and it's
archaeologist
just super
Shane.
cool. Like this is like, I think like aside from
Instead, all
a
we
pretty
have found
compelling
here is a
story, you know, we're
recorded
making fun of it,
message
but the
Roy
game is
broadcasted
the game does
continuously.
tell a good story, but just the CGI work that they did was just really good. I've said it before,
Whoever
but I have
hears
to say
this
it again.
message,
Yeah,
And now we're back with this guy.
the sudden
Yes.
incursion into
This is just a
region
pre-recorded
staged by
message,
a
however.
flotilla of Romulan
Uh-huh.
And he
warships has
says
made
something
this
really
remote
weird.
expedition untenable.
This is basically a
For the
pre-recorded
safety of
message
my
that tells
crew, I
people
have
to
decided
stay
to
away
abandon
if you
this
would
site
please. This is my
In the name of
place.
science, I ask that you
Not
do
disturb-
not
Don't mess up
disturb
my
work
stuff,
on
yeah.
this
Yes,
planet.
please leave my shit
There is
alone.
one site that requires
And then he
special
goes on to
care. The Chodak site seems to
Then he
have
goes
a
on to
field
explain the site in
camouflages into
detail to
normal
sort of,
sensors.
you know, tease
I
people who are
located
coming by
mostly
saying,
by
I like archaeology. Well, this
There's a
place is
platform
fucking
jutting
amazing.
out
You can't go
partway
down.
down
But-
a deep shaft
But
in the
please
ground.
leave it alone.
Yes,
Further
exactly.
investigation has been blocked by an ancient rock slide.
It's like this is so amazing, and
As much as I
I'm
would
here,
like to honor
but I'm not
Sherlock's
here.
request,
So
I'm not-
the door's open.
I just
Alone,
stepped
we
out
don't have
for
that
lunch. Would
luxury.
you please leave this
The kind of
amazing
situation makes it
shit
imperative
alone?
We learn
Really.
where this planet Alanor is.
I just noticed how pink the floor is on the bridge, and I know that the bridge did have pink carpet because it was designed in the late '80s, but it looks very pink right now.
They had some weird interior decorators in the 3rd century. Anyway, I'm also one thing I've noticed in the early episodes of the show is that, you know, the short tunic kind of thing. They have a special name.
Behind this pile of
Scant.
The scants, yes. I miss those. There was a lot of, a lot of gender barriers being broken right there. Like, you have all the dudes running around in miniskirts. I thought that was awesome, and they sort of disappeared on us.
I think a lot of people made fun of it, and then they were like, well, you know, we still want people to watch the show, so they got rid of it. But no, I mean, that was a very Star Trek-y kind of thing that they did very early on, and it just sort of, they sort of abandoned it. And eventually they abandoned them completely. Like the first couple of seasons, some of the women would still wear them, and eventually it was just pants for all.
Yeah, exactly. Because then, you know, if you only have the women wear it, then it's just, okay, that is totally opposite of the thing we actually wanted to do.
Right,
now they just look like flight attendants from the, you know, early 70s. Like, when full-on sexist flight attendants. Or, well, it's not the flight attendants that are sexist, is that, never mind. I should cut that bit out.
Nah, we know what you're talking about. We know what you mean.
So anyway,
but it makes sense. I mean, but just finishing off the uniform thing. I mean, in a way, it just makes sense to me that everyone would wear pants because, you know, they're on a ship. They have to do work. They might, you know, spill things on themselves and stuff. So it just makes sense that everyone just wears pants because, you know what, pants are practical.
Oh, and this is the one extraneous conversation that you know, any characters will have, because occasionally the characters will chime in with, you know, suggestions. Maybe we should do this, and they do that more frequently on the lower difficulty setting. But for some reason, this conversation between Troy and Data about rainbows and shooting stars just happens.
Yeah, it's like, oh well, yeah, and the game does miss a little bit of kind of that just banter with the crew, you know. There's no B story in this game where it's like, oh well, Wesley is trying to, you know, go on a date or something like that.
Yeah, this game is all business.
It's a very serious game.
Yeah. And this is, by the way, this is the part where you can screw up. If you're supposed to get the coordinates for the Chodak home planet, administrative planet. They have an entire planet devoted to just administrating this empire that, you know, disappeared. Planet government. And you have to scan everything in this location. If you don't, then you get one of those kind of stuck situations where I read somewhere the Data will just, you know, suggest, why don't we go back in time and fix this somehow? So yeah, you have to scan not only the thing that's perched on top of this very weird pedestal. You also have to scan the pedestal itself, and then you can work out, or actually the bridge crew will work out the coordinates for you, so you can go to this administrative planet.
Knowing where this instrument was pointed may
There we
help us
go.
determine what the Chodak were attempting to study.
Well, that's interesting, and yeah. So, like we said, this is definitely a place where you can get, you know, where you can screw up the game. But then, like we said, it'd be interesting to see those other places where you can just say, well, I'm not going to complete this mission, or I'm going to abandon this other thing, or blah blah blah. If those also result in Data saying that you should go back in time, or you know, whatever.
I think Data suggesting going back in time is only if you miss out on the coordinates here. Because once you get back to the ship, once you beam back to the ship, then you get attacked. So you can't
go back.
You can't go back down. And you're basically on with the story. Oh, they did a little jig. But yeah, I want to go back and play this game and just fuck everything up, and you know, not fuck it up to the point where I want to see if they actually have Walking Dead in this game. I don't think they do.
Yeah, that. All right.
And yeah, now things are getting exciting. This was, Joe and I have just done commentary for these first 4 episodes, and now I'm going to go and play the rest of the game, and I'll have Joe back to commentate some more on it. But yeah, that was the end of the first 4 episodes. So hopefully by the time you're watching this, we'll have had more episodes in the wing. Help me out, Joe. I'm floundering.
They're doing good. You're doing good. We'll get more. Charles will play the rest of the game. We'll come back. We'll keep doing this, and hopefully everyone has enjoyed it.
Thank you. That was exactly it. That was exactly what I wanted to say. Thank you. Thank you, Joe, for keeping me company throughout this.
Oh, it's been amazing.
Oh. So yeah. We'll see you back for more Star Trek: The Next Generation in the future.
Bye.
Bye.